Hey, what's up, guys? I tell you, even the best laid plans sometimes really fall apart, and I'm not exactly sure what all just occurred there. Crystal will be back in just a second, but what a mess that was. That turned out to be. I don't know why Facebook turned that off real quick, but uh, we're back up and live and running again. Uh, it, like I said, how ridiculous that really came up to be. Here she is. Hey, welcome back. I tell you, what a mess.
Facebook didn't like us.
Yeah, they
Woo!
completely like just turned us off that fast. I was like,
We got in trouble.
yeah, it's like yeah, and I'm getting all these reports saying, hey, uh, they like shut it off completely. They said they weren't allowed to talk. I am outside. Yes, I am. So, but it was. Yeah, I guess we can't do the music anymore. To be honest, I do a song. I do a song on my podcast every um, for my Philly Sports Guy podcast, and it never is a problem. So, but now and now after I got done sharing it to everywhere, it wound up doing that. Yeah, I know it's the copyright issues. Uh, and listen, we were just showing a video. You know what I mean? We're like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Obviously, if you want to advertise here, she's going to make all the money. So shut up. You know what I mean? Facebook sucks. Facebook sucks. But anyways, now I'm going to reshare this back out again because everything that I shared out earlier today is now no longer even able to be.
Now is no longer even a thing. Share
So,
away.
but
I'll pretend to be Carrie Underwood.
yeah,
Ah.
but
I
anyways,
wish.
so now we're back again, and we're still talking about cheating. We are still talking about cheating. So it's
Facebook police got us.
yeah, and I couldn't even get the same type of thing. All right, there we are. Now we're live again. All right, that's what I wanted to see, so I can share this back out to all the different people that want to watch us. You know, what a mess! What a mess! But like I said, even the best laid plans, we'll get it all back up and running again.
I know. We had such a good idea.
I listen. I thought it was a great song, and I'm only giving all the credit to Carrie Underwood, but obviously, Facebook doesn't like that anyways. They're like, oh, you can't use Carrie Underwood. She doesn't want you to sing her song. Get off my page. Yeah, I wish. That's why Carrie Underwood was not invited on here. I wish Carrie Underwood would have came on because I bet you she would have given us permission to use this song. So, but it is what it is.
It
Anyways,
is
we're
what
back
it is.
now.
Oh
We're
well.
back now, and here we are, two birds, and I'm here down in Cape May, here at the Harpoons on the Bay. Great bar here. They're letting me do my setup here. They're closing up around me, but I get to drink out here and do my thing because
I'm
they love
home.
me out here.
Welcome to my home. My humble
Exactly.
abode.
So, and, and anyways, so here we are. We're talking about cheating. And right before we got booted off, we were talking about whether you cheated or I cheated. And the answer to that is yes, I did
Yes.
cheat. I
Yes.
have cheated. Um, and, it is what it is. You can't really, sorry,
I
I
I
cheated.
feel like I learned a lot from one being cheated, one being the cheater, and two being cheated on.
I'm sure I've been cheated on. In fact, I know I've been cheated on a lot. In fact, one girl, as funny as this is going to sound, this story, I caught her not at the same time, but I caught her cheating on me with about 6 or 7 different guys. And
Ooh,
yeah, not all at the same time.
she's a
Yeah, like
hustler.
she was definitely trying to, she wanted attention is what that came down to. She just definitely wanted the attention. And I didn't really care that she was cheating on me because to be honest, I wasn't being really loyal either. You know what I mean at that time. So it's yeah, I kind of liked her. I dug her, and but you want to talk about a toxic relationship?
That
It
was
was
toxic.
super toxic. But we were able to move on, and and just she wound up marrying a good friend of mine, and then getting divorced from that friend. Um,
Oh, well.
that's kind
Thanks,
of what
Chris.
happens.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Who? Yeah, there's somebody on yours that's not. I can't see the comments, but yeah, and I knew Sean was going to have a lot to say about stuff like this.
I know.
Sean has, and I could tell you, I knew just from your comment that Sean was going to be doing has a lot to talk about of this. You know what I mean? Like Sean has been cheated on a lot. I can imagine. And I don't mean that in a bad way, Sean. I'm sure that you're a great guy, and yeah, you take them all.
Take them off.
Yeah, they're cleaning up around me here, so I knew that this was going to be a late show, and they're allowing me to do my thing and just kind of hang out and chill, and I'll have to put away my own chair when I'm done.
That's very polite of you.
Exactly. So when it comes to me thinking about cheating, like when I cheated, I, I you cheat because you're not getting something in your relationship. Like that's the purpose of cheating. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So you
right.
go outside the relationship to try to find what it is that you want. I have included in this group. So I go in a lot of Facebook groups now, and in the process of this, I have gone into a swingers group, and I actually posted this in the swingers group tonight. Just because just because it's swingers and poly and stuff like that. Like so, I'm trying to get content
They have
across
a
the
whole
board.
different mindset of,
It is a whole different mindset. There
but they're
isn't
still
really cheating.
cheating.
There is cheating. There is cheating in that. In fact, cheating in that type of situation is a whole
Is
different world.
even worse.
Correct, because that means you're going way outside. Like
Way outside.
you're supposed to have the trust, but now you don't have the trust anymore. So once you've started to go that route, it really affects how
Yeah.
everything else happens. But uh, but it's interesting to kind of see how they are, like and how they see things, and different than how we'll say just vanilla people, you know,
Right.
vanilla people
I'm
see
I'm
things.
always intrigued by that stuff. I'm the person that wants to know how everybody else thinks. Like I want to know it all. Like I want to pick your brain, and and I may not agree, but that doesn't mean that I'm right, you're wrong. You could be right, I can be wrong. Like I just want to know where you're coming from. I think that's cool.
Well, and I'm going to put it out here. So if anybody wants to tell their cheating story, this is the actual link. Not the last link, so that you're not going to be going onto a dead site.
Right?
But I want everybody to be able to come on and tell their stories here, because everybody's had a cheating story. Everybody's had a cheating story. And
Danny made the best comment. Danny, look up cheating and you see the meaning. It's called Patriots fan and Tom Brady.
I bet you it goes even beyond that, but I understand. Danny being a Giants fan,
There's a reason why rule number 4 is you can't date a Patriots fan. You can have sex with them, but you can't date them.
Did you hear that? Yeah, everybody. So go out and find Patriots fans, and you're gonna be just fine. You know what I mean?
You'll be just fine.
But did they blow it? No, not yet. They haven't blown it yet. I'm watching also the Phillies game, and the Phillies are about to blow another, their lead again. But that all being said, it's like, so when you think about cheating and what cheating's all about and how you feel in your gut. Like I said, when you know somebody's cheating on you and you can't get the stuff, you can't figure out where it comes from or how it's happening, and you know it's happening around. So
I can tell you, and Jamie, you know this, when in my last relationship, my gut instinct said that he was cheating, and sure enough, that's what was going on.
Well, and there was some of that I wanted to touch on, not on your previous relationship, but
Right.
the certain tells that come about when somebody is cheating. You know, that when somebody is cheating, they project on you that they, what they think,
Yes.
because they're cheating, they feel like you're cheating because they want to blame you first because it's your fault.
Because it's
And you know what? And I'm gonna break a little protocol. I'm actually going to show this first TikTok here because this is the most relevant TikTok of
Oh,
all
we got a
this.
TikTok already?
We're going to do a TikTok already because he kind of touches on this, and it's the best way to really be able to go forward after talking about it a little bit, because really this kind of says a lot right away.
As many of you know, I do a lot of posts on cheating because I've seen a lot of it in my 25 years as a therapist. Plus, I wrote a fucking book on cheating. You can get it at my website, Badass Counseling. But one of the craziest things that I see most frequently, once the cheating comes out, or even if I'm working with a client who cheated, is not the denial of cheating. It's when someone admits that they've cheated and they actually attempt to justify it. They say, well, she hasn't been putting out for a long time. Or she says, he's been emotionally distant for years. Or, you know what, it was only a one-off. Or whatever. That they actually think there's some fucking justification for cheating. And I have to tell you, there's none. There's no justification for betraying someone else's trust in you. And you can make up your bullshit fucking beliefs. Oh, I was this and she's a bitch or he's an asshole. No. There's no justification. You just don't have the balls to look the other person in the face and end the relationship before you instead go off and hurt them. You're going to be so fucking selfish as to take for yourself and potentially blow up the relationship because it's easier to blow it up than it is to look another human being in the face and say, I need to end this relationship before you ever cheat. So your justifications of your cheating are fucking bullshit. Shove it up your ass. So who are you hurting or who has hurt you by cheating and trying to make you believe that they were justified? Have a kick-ass day.
I dig that guy. I dig
I
that guy
like that guy.
because he is really in your face. This is no bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is no bullshit. You are cheating. There's no excuse for the cheating. You are a big pussy by
Yep.
not breaking up with the person or saying, hey, listen, I got to go outside the relationship to find the answer to something and then letting them decide. Like, listen, I like you still, but I've got to go get something else from outside of this relationship because I'm just not getting it from you. And I'm sorry. And I'm going to go cheat, or
Right.
I'm just going to let you know. And then that makes you ethically non-monogamous. That's where that all comes from now. Now it's because once you say those words, now you're not cheating anymore. And I kind of agree a little bit with everything that he said there. You know what I mean? It's like it's just there isn't any
excuse.
excuse. You can make whatever excuse you want to make, and the truth of the matter is that all you're doing is lying to yourself and hurting somebody that you actually cared about. Because you did care about this person at one point. And when you decide that you don't want to care about this person anymore, you just tell them. If you tell them you don't feel like caring about them anymore, it makes it a lot easier for everybody involved. There's hurt, of course, because it hurts when you break up. It's not something nice. You don't want to do it that way, but that's part of life. Nothing lasts forever. It's like you are going to hurt everybody at some point or another. And I just did a TikTok on this too. Everybody at some point or another is going to hurt you in your life.
Yes.
And it's up to you to figure out what's more important, the hurt or the person. And that's a big deal. There's a lot that goes into that. And ultimately, you see, you could just be like, okay, yeah, what now? So once you've been cheated on, you get that jaded for part of you, and once you've cheated on somebody, you can't ever go back. That it's like wrinkling up a piece of loose leaf paper. You can flatten it back out again, but the wrinkles never quite go away.
No, the
And
wrinkles
that's
never quite go away.
and it's like that for both people in the party, the cheater and the cheated upon. And it doesn't go away. And it doesn't go away. So it really, and
And
what's even worse, and before I let you start talking, is when you get cheated on, you come to the conclusion that it's okay, you're going to accept that, and then the relationship still doesn't work because it's already a matter of trust. Now that you've given up your self-esteem in the mix of this. Now it becomes a matter of, okay, now what? Now what? Yeah, because now
Now
I
what?
don't have any self-esteem. You're just going to go run all over me, and that's what happens. They start to run all over you. So, sorry, I'll let you
Oh,
do some talking.
oh, so I was gonna say I'll tell my cheating story because I think that this touches upon of like wanting them to hurt. So my ex-husband, he cheated on me over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it kind of not the straw that broke the camel's back that ended our marriage, but what ended up happening and the reason why I cheated on him is at one point in time, he had one of the girls that he was seeing showed up at our home and thought I was the babysitter.
That's
Literally
fun.
knocked on our door. I answered it and she asked if he was home and I said no, he's out with friends. And she was like, "Oh, you must be the babysitter." And I said, "No, I am not the babysitter. I'm his wife." And she went ballistic and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to talk to him." And I was like, "You are not going to talk to him. He is my husband and I'm going to talk to him." But ultimately, he ended up cheating again and again and again and again. So I cheated on him because I wanted him to feel the pain of what it felt like to be cheated on. It
Yeah,
was
but
not
he
the
couldn't
truth.
feel that pain. He couldn't feel that pain because he
No,
was doing it already.
right. Not
And
not the brightest crayon in the box in that moment, but I learned a lot from it because I it didn't matter what I did. I could have cheated. It didn't matter. I was not going to change whatever he was doing and the way he thought about things. Why? Because it goes back to you can't change somebody and you can't change their actions. You can only change the way that you reacted to it. React to it. And the way I reacted to that was not appropriate, not okay. I won't ever do that again. But I will pick up and leave. That was
well,
all
and
that.
that's really what it comes down to. It becomes a matter of knowing your worth, knowing your self-esteem, and being able to use all of that to be able
Right.
to get yourself out of the situation that you are in. You know, I, oh, they won the game. How about that? That's not something normal. Phillies did win. Yay. When I when I was just about to break up with my last ex, the
Mm-hmm.
ex that was coming on, I started going on to dating apps, and I started talking to somebody, and it wound up like we were broken up, but we were still living together, and we were fresh. Like it was a fresh breakup.
It was
Like
a
it was
fresh breakup.
like we like here it is. It's May, and we just kind of said, all right, we're done with each other, and we're sleeping on the couch, but like sometimes we're still sleeping in the same bed together. You know what I mean? And I met somebody on Tinder, and started talking to her. And next thing you know, it wound up being like a whirlwind. Like all of a sudden, I'm like digging this chick, and she's digging me, and we're going out on a date. Next thing I know, you know, I'm going and spending the night over at her place, and I'm like, hold on a second. Like I had to pull up the reins, and I had to let her know. I'm like, listen. I dig you. I was not expecting this. You know what I mean? I just don't expect to start to like somebody this quickly because I know what I am.
Right.
However, I have to let you know that I literally have just broken up with my ex fresh, and I still live with her. She still lives at the house. The fact that she came over the one day, it just so happened that it was so fresh that she decided that she wanted to go. She took the kids and went away to her sister's for the weekend. And here it is. I'm talking to somebody immediately, and and like we didn't stay at my house because that wasn't cool. You know what I mean? But
Right.
we went somewhere else. I think probably back to her place, and it just dumbfounded me. I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is crazy that I'd even start to like somebody this quick. But I had to let them know, like, hey, listen, I can't, like, the time that you think I might have, I don't have. I don't have this time. I don't have the ability to do this like this. And
Right.
ultimately, I got to let you know that I just broke up with my ex and that we still live together. And now you get to make the decision on whether you want to continue to try to talk to me or not, because it wasn't my decision to make. It was up to me to tell her, and
Right.
then her to make the decision.
Or what you
And
wanted to do.
right, and we talked for a while longer, and we hung out for a while longer, and then it
Fizzled
staled.
away.
It staled. You know what I mean? Because it's just like whirlwind situations. It's a tornado. Everything's are great. You're. It's like, wow, this is awesome, and then it fizzles out. Then the tornado
Well,
goes away.
and in your sense of it too, it was probably new and fresh and something you hadn't felt in a long time. So that was a world when you're like, oh, I can have these feelings again. Like this, like I can feel this way. I can want to spend time with somebody. And that's a whole feeling in itself of I think a lot of the reasons why people cheat in the first place. But that's not, and I don't even think if you guys were freshly broken up, I would not consider that cheating. However, I think you did the right thing of telling her your circumstances and letting her make the choice of whether she still wanted to talk to you or not. But you were honest with her.
Right, and you have to be honest. You have to be honest, not only with the other person, but yourself. Because listen, when you're cheating on somebody, think of all the things that get involved with cheating on someone. Now, okay, let's say that you're not living with this person, that this person is just somebody who you have decided at one point or another that you're going to be exclusive in a relationship with. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave the fact that you guys aren't living together yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Out of that, because if you're living together, it becomes a whole different world. And then you think about, okay, so now I don't live with you. I am going to go out with the buddies tonight, and you meet somebody there. Because you legitimately were going out with the buddies, but you're going out to the buddies with the bar, and the bar has got somebody there. You start talking to that person. That person sparks an interest. You
Right.
you could go back to your place right away, or to her place right away, and do a deed, and then call it the ends, and call it quits, and be fine with that. Or you start to actually want to see them again. And so both is cheating. The problem with the second time, wanting to see them a second time, now you're got to deal with the fact that you got to make up a story. So now the story comes. Now you're lying.
Now you're
So,
lying.
okay. And it starts with a really small lie because you're being a little bit secretive on your phone. You're maybe texting the person in the bathroom. All of a sudden, you're getting up to go to the bathroom when you ain't got to go to the bathroom. And you're spending a few minutes in the bathroom now because you're texting back and forth, and you got to make sure that you get there, you text, and then you got to clear the texts and make sure that she's not ready to text back again, and then go back out and deal with the person that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? So, so you're lying even before you say a word, because ultimately you're sneaking around, and those are the starts of the things that people start to realize. Like it's that first time that they get up, you get up and go to the bathroom, and then you got to get up and go to the bathroom again. You ain't really had nothing to drink. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, why you keep going back to the bathroom? You got a stomach problem. Again, because ultimately somebody who cares about you wants to know. There's something wrong.
What's going on?
There's
like,
something
why are you going
wrong
in the bathroom? Or why are you? Why will you not leave? Like, I think one of the biggest tells that I had in my last relationship is it went from I left my phone everywhere to I left my phone nowhere.
Right. Like that's just the last girl. The last girl I even had a little bit of fun with. You know what I mean? Like they said, we go out to the game. We have a great date. I know that the girl's never without her phone. She's too busy swerving guys.
Yeah.
And swerving guys is a whole big deal. And I got TikToks about that in this mix today too.
We can have a whole podcast on swerving guys, because I have to swerve guys, and I'm in a relationship and I still have to swerve guys.
Well, it's part of what happens. You know what I mean? You're swerving. You're always swerving. I swerve myself. You know what I mean? That's like I got to swerve left and right. Because I'm not afraid to date people. In fact, I'm interested in dating people, but I also want to be honest and real with them. You know what I mean? But I don't have to be as honest and real with them on the first date. You're asking me what I want out of a relationship, or what am I looking for? I'm looking to be able to handle the first dates, and then maybe get on to a second date. Let's start small. You know what I mean?
Let's start somewhere, right?
Rather than have me have to give you my entire life history on what I want out of dating, because I'm not interested in doing all that. And if that means that I'm lying to you by not giving you the whole plate right there, I'm only giving you a couple of hors d'oeuvres to start off, well, then that's your own problem. You know what I mean? That just means that you're too busy trying to get something that you can't find. You know what I mean? And you ain't going to find it here. You know what I mean?
No.
Because ultimately, if I get past date number one, I might like you. I might change my thought process on what it is that I'm looking for. But I won't know that until after I can get through first conversation with you, maybe a little bit of fun, in the process, and then figure out whether I can even deal with you a second time. You know what I mean? Because I tell you, most of the people that I talk to now, most of the people that I meet off of dating apps, I start a conversation with them, and that conversation fizzles. And the moment that you don't text them back, they feel like you've ghosted them. And I'm not a texter.
That's not ghosting. I think people have such a different, I think ghosting has become one of those things of, it falls in the same realm in my brain as people that are like, oh, I'm depressed. I'm like, you're not depressed. You're just sad. And it's okay to be sad. But that doesn't mean that you're depressed. Or he's just a narcissist. No, he's just an asshole. He's not a narcissist. He's just an asshole. Two very different things. Oh, well, he ghosted me. He didn't ghost you. He just didn't get back to you right away. And there was nothing wrong with that. Or you went on one date and it didn't go well. So he didn't respond back to you. I can understand if you guys were dating for a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks, and then all of a sudden he's just MIA, and you guys had that conversation that you're in an exclusive relationship. Okay, now you've been ghosted. Get it. Got it. But if you are simply just having a conversation with somebody and they stop having that conversation with you, they didn't ghost you.
Or like I'm on vacation for 2 weeks with my family. I'm
Right.
not going to try to text you every day. I'm not interested. I'm too busy doing stuff with my kids, trying to work while I'm on vacation and do all these other things. I mean, realistically, it's not difficult for you to get my attention. However, if you got my attention, don't ruin it by trying to shove a whole bunch of things down my throat in that little bit of time. The way to
No.
keep my attention is to show me that you can handle it like an adult. That's the problem with some of these dating apps as I'm going back even to this, where everybody's trying to find their soulmate, their best friend for the rest of their lives. Well, you ain't going to find them because your best friend throughout life you knew when you were 8. You know what I mean? That was a soulmate. You might find somebody that you like, and maybe over time, you feel like maybe over 10, 20 years, you could feel like that this person is a soulmate because you can finish each other's sentences because
Right.
you've been together now for 20 years. Yeah. I was talking to somebody at the bar today, and he told me he got married for the very first time ever at 46 years old. Now, his wife was like a little younger. She was like 39 or 40. Um, but it was also her first marriage. And he's been married now for 24 years, 25 years. Yeah, and maybe not that long, maybe only like 20 years because he was in his 60s. He wasn't in his 70s yet. Just happened to be sitting next to me, heard that I was doing dating podcasts tonight. He could even be watching right now, as far as I know. Um,
Hi.
but ultimately was talking about, hey, that it took, hey, he's 46 years old and decided then it was the time to get married. And he said very, very specifically, well, I didn't have any more wild oats to sow. And it's like, okay, and that's okay if that's the way you feel. If you felt like you didn't have any more wild oats, and this is what you want to spend the rest of your life with, I don't know if you can consider that settling. Maybe that is what it is, or maybe it just took that long to find the person that you were willing to spend every day with, and that you could be a roommate, a lover, a friend, a confidant, financial partner. I mean, that is what a relationship is all about.
That is what a
All of
relationship
those
is all about.
things. You got to be all of those things. And when you're not all of those things, you miss one of those things. You know, like it's interesting because we're talking about cheating in the very literal sense. Yeah, like you're finding a different sexual partner. But
But
cheating takes a
there's
lot of
financial
different.
cheating.
Absolutely, there's lots of different faces to a cheater. You know what I mean? A cheater, listen, we watched a TikTok was a few weeks ago where the guy was talking about masturbation is cheating or watching porn is cheating. And I okay, yeah, I guess it could be. You are right about that in the very biblical sense. But
But it
realistically, you can't.
it
Yeah,
goes back to, what are your boundaries in your relationship? If that's
correct.
not a boundary in your relationship that she's okay with, then that is considered cheating, because now you're doing it behind her back, knowing that she's not okay with it. It's the same thing as a financial situation where you're financially cheating. When the moment that you are hiding things or you're not being truthful, it becomes a situation where you are cheating. It's like, the moment you start lying about whatever it is, then you're cheating.
Correct. Hey, listen, and if anybody, the StreamYard has been up on the screen. All you got to do is type that in and come right on with us. If you got a cheating story that you want to tell or talk about, I mean, listen, like I said, we've all been cheated on. We've all cheated one way or another. We've all done this. So I know I'm not posting up a lot of the comments today, mostly because I want people to kind of come on and tell their story. Uh, like I said, it sucks to be cheated on. It sucks.
It sucks. It does suck.
Because what cheating does to your mental state is like it takes some of your worth. That's what it does. It's like taking currency out of your self-esteem wallet. And that's what happens. And ultimately, when that occurs, you don't know what to do. All right, now I'm stuck. What am I doing now? What do I do? Because I've just been cheated on. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm bitter. I'm going to use that against him, but I love that person, him or her, but I love that person. And can I forgive them? Your initial reaction is that what did I do wrong that made you cheat? And then you start thinking, well, then you can go one of two ways. You can go the narcissist way, and you can be like, okay, I cheat, and because I'm a cheater, because you're the cheater, I was holier than thou, and I don't need you anymore. You know what I mean? And that's fine if you're going to be able to play that card. You got to be able to stick to your guns and not be upset about it, and like you got to be upset about it, but like not be able to be like, okay, I'm going to go back to the well, because you can't ever
Right.
go back. Once you're gone, you're gone. And
So
as a cheater, you know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of different set of circumstances.
right. So
Like Mike says.
Mike brought up my favorite comment that we've had all day on this scenario is once a cheater, always a cheater. And I do not agree with that statement. Cheating is a choice.
Correct. And I don't necessarily agree with this statement. I don't necessarily agree with that because I cheated on a relationship before. I have become more of an adult now in terms of being able to be honest with what it is that I want. Because sometimes cheating is you not being sure on what it is that you want, and you have to go out to find that. And that's a problem because you don't know what it is you want. You know what I mean? You could do it in a more real sense where you don't cheat, but you don't think about that when you're doing it. So
You don't. But ultimately, majority of the reason why you are cheating is something that has to do with you internally, or something you're not dealing with in that relationship.
So she must have cheated.
I already said that.
Cheating is choice, but also is a sickness. No. No. So now I will tell the story of Mandy, not Amanda, Mandy. I dated this girl, Mandy, and she needed to have it every night. She needed to have it every night. When she didn't have it, she told me she needed to have it every night. And of course, I didn't really listen to that when she said it. And then she disappeared. Couldn't find her. Hey, what's going on? Well, what's up? What's happening? Well, she was getting it every night. That's what was going on. And you have to listen to when somebody tells you, hey, I need this. I need this. And okay, well, if you need that, then you better make sure that it's part of the relationship between the two of you. If it's not, then it's not on. And listen there, PJ, you don't want to be saying this type of stuff because don't worry, the IRS is watching me. So maybe that's not the best thing to be talking about.
Right? Come on, PJ.
Is flirting cheating?
I have a really hard time with this because there's a lot like I tend to be flirtatious and I don't realize that I'm being flirtatious, and I have no intent of going beyond of what I'm saying at the moment. So I would not consider that cheating. However, I do know that from past relationships, I don't want to say filter myself, but I am more cautious about what I do say and don't say.
I look at it a little bit differently. It's not the flirting that's the cheating part. It's the feeling of wanting to continue or
what, like wanting to continue the flirting in the conversation?
after the fact. So like, hey, listen, it's okay to flirt. You can flirt as much as you want. You know what I mean? That's I flirt with people sometimes. You know what I mean? I flirt with women all the time, especially when I'm the Philly sports guy. When I'm all painted up, I get to flirt with people because sometimes they want that. However, the moment that you cross that line,
I mean, as a girl super fan, I get it. Like, I get it all the time. Like, I think that that's more of like that personality of me. But I have no intentions of doing anything with anybody. I just think I'm being nice, but then people tell me, "Oh, you were being very overly nice." I was like, "Oh, I know. I didn't realize."
yeah, I
Okay.
mean, people are going to take it however they want to take it. You know what I mean? It's not when you're flirting, it's not just you that you have to deal with. You have to deal with the other person as well, and that other person is going to have a certain reception to that, and how they're going to see it, and then how somebody outside of that relationship, outside of the two of you flirting back and forth, is also going to be able to see it, and it becomes a whole different scenario in a way that really becomes more problematic in those types of things. It's like flirting is flirting, but it's how you feel about the flirting after the fact. You know what I mean? Like when you start thinking about the person that you were flirting with
They
when
are
you're
flirting
done
with.
when you're done flirting, then that's where it becomes a cheating situation.
Yeah, I've never had that before. I have no idea.
I don't understand that. You got to speak English, Sean.
Yeah.
I have no clue what that means. I
Not
try.
a clue.
I looked at it. I looked at it. I wanted to even get it bigger to kind of see what it says, and I didn't understand. So I'm going to go to the TikToks. We have a lot of them today. I went
You
through.
said we have 9.
Well, now we have 8.
Now we have 8.
Now we have 8. So I'm going to start with somebody that everybody knows. Out there, and this has nothing really to do. This didn't really have to do with cheating, and there's a couple of videos specifically on this topic, but I thought it was close enough that it needed to, because it's not cheating in the traditional sense.
All right.
You're an attractive woman. There are some guys somewhere saying, "Yeah, we're friends." No, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have. We remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor, and trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity. Because we're
most
guys.
Men think this way?
99.9% of us think that way. And you tell this to a woman and it just blows her back. No, I have male friends. You have male friends because they know it can be nothing else right now.
All right, before we even start talking about this, I got a second one of these videos because I actually have I have a different type of response to those as well.
Okay.
All women know on a subconscious level that most of their guy friends are not genuinely their friends, especially women in relationships who use plausible deniability and claim that, oh, he's not like that, while knowing full well that he is indeed like that, and he's waiting for her to give him an opportunity to be like that. If you're considering her for a relationship, or you're in a relationship with her and you notice that she maintains a steady number of male friends, understand she does not value you and she's using other men for attention and validation. Both are major character flaws and red flags in consideration for a relationship. You will be called toxic, insecure, controlling for setting boundaries against this type of behavior. But understand, these are respectable boundaries that if she's not able to adhere to, you have every right to remove her from your life and not take her seriously.
So both of those videos obviously, touched on the same thing. And my specific, when I put these out here, it was like, this isn't cheating in the traditional sense, but it is cheating in the way that you handle a friendship, and it goes both ways. It does
does
go both ways.
ways.
It's not just the guy, although it's definitely more prevalent where the guy gets put into the friend zone. You know, a guy will stay friends with a girl a lot longer than a girl will stay friends with a guy. However, it does happen in the opposite way as well. That I personally have female friends who are friends with me who would like to sleep with me, and they're waiting for the opportunity for me to sleep with them again. You know what I mean, or to sleep with them for the first time. And
Right.
and it's not like it's not that I put them in the friend zone, because I am a guy, and there's always going to be that moment of weakness as a guy, because there's going to be things that happen that say, "Oh, I'm horny right now," and you happen to be right here. You know what I mean? So, and ultimately, that's why a woman doesn't necessarily have to wait as long as a guy. A guy can wait to the end of the earth to try to be with a woman that he really wants to be with. And not, and she doesn't necessarily, if she's got him in the friend zone, she can manipulate him for a long time in that friend zone. But that's a cheating thing. That's a cheating thing. And when a girl does it, it's cheating on the guy, even though she knows he's dying to get with her, and he's, oh, well, you're just a friend. You know what I mean? That's cheating on him. You're cheating on his emotions is what you're doing.
You are cheating on his emotions.
And it goes the exact opposite way for the guy, when it happens, the same thing. Because it's, it's a form of cheating, just not the traditional sense. So
that in sense is a form of cheating. However, as a woman, I do have guy friends, you being one of them, Jamie, but at no point in time with Mr. Big would I ever hide my text messages between the two of us, because there's nothing inappropriate there. Like, I'm not doing anything behind his back that he doesn't know. I know they're going off. I can't.
I'm sitting here. And I can't.
Everything that's going on.
It was too funny. It was getting too funny for me. I had to
They're
stop it.
off the chain tonight.
Well, because we're getting to see them. We never get to see them because the second time around I put it on the Philly Sports Guy page.
I know.
So they're getting in on me here, which is fine.
They're all getting in. They're all getting in. I was just like, I don't know. I mean, I and my group of guys is fairly small, like there's only a couple of you. It's not like I have all these guy friends, but one, I would never not bring you around Mr. Big or not bring Mr. Big around you. Like, I'm not hiding anything. And I would never, like, you wouldn't call and I would leave to go to the bathroom to answer the phone. Like, that would never happen. So then I see both sides of this, where guys and girls can be friends. And I also see the fact of there's majority of the time, there's always that hidden agenda there.
Correct. And it happens more frequently than not.
And it happens more frequently.
This goes all the way back to, that when Harry met Sally.
Right.
You know what I mean? Men and women cannot be friends. Truth of the matter is that they really cannot be friends unless you have those boundaries 100% set.
Right.
And even when those boundaries are 100% set, it still is questionable.
I can see where it's still questionable, but I think it becomes a cheating when you start hiding things and there's another intention there.
Correct.
Then you're crossing the friend boundary.
Correct. I agree with that as well. Let's go to let's lighten it up a little bit.
Lighten it up.
Women always saying men cheat. Men always cheating. That's all they do is cheat. No. A lot of y'all just think you're in relationships. Women love relationships. Men hate relationships. We just end up in them. Don't no man want to be in no relationship. I ain't never had no dude call me up and be like, hey, Dion, let's go down to the club and find some relationships to get into. I ain't never walked in no party and was like, boy, one of these bitches about to get married in this motherfucker tonight. Ain't nobody ever called me up like, boy, get down to the club. There's so many soulmates in this bitch.
I happen to agree with that.
Exactly.
I think there is a lot of women out there that put guys into a relationship without having that conversation with them, and they think that they're in a relationship when in actuality they're not in a relationship at all.
Well, exactly. And this guy, he takes it in the opposite direction.
You know how people like to say, I think I'm just going to date myself for a while. First of all, okay. Second of all, I'm out here, I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm breaking up with myself. I'm going to ghost me. I'm leaving me on red because this situationship I've got with myself is far and away the most toxic relationship in my life. The other day I called myself a fat idiot because I dropped a spoon. I wasn't wrong, but I was out of line. I'm tired of binge drinking on a Friday night and then waking up Saturday morning, tears in my eyes, apologies on my lips, with all these promises about how I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to start eating right and getting 8 hours of sleep. Lies and broken promises, false assurances. It's gaslighting. I'm gaslighting myself. That's what it boils down to. So you know what? It's over. And next time I try to say something mean to myself, I'm just going to remember that I'm an asshole and an idiot. And I didn't know a good thing when I had it.
Of course, he's a Chiefs fan.
Of course he's a Chiefs fan.
You know that.
I mean, he's got some good points there. There are good points there.
Well, that's why he made the list. He made the TikTok list. So it's when when I saw it, I'm like, wow, this guy's like a goofball. You know what I mean? Like it's such a weirdo thing. And then I thought about it, and then I watched it again. I'm like, no, I get it. It's kind of funny. It makes some sense.
I mean, it does make sense.
So
learn to love yourself.
Exactly. Or break up with yourself. I
mean, I'm not sure if you should do that, but
see, and you gotta just be like Al. He dates himself every Tuesday night starting at 10 o'clock because he knows right where to go. Right where to go to get his loving.
Get all the loving in.
All right. Next one. I don't remember this one, but it was something there.
Daily reminder. If someone's stupid enough to walk out of your life, be smart enough to let them go.
Lesson for me to learn.
That guy is. You said he was from Tampa. He actually does these.
Yes.
He's got that very unique voice.
He does.
And I started watching a lot of his videos. He's got a lot of these 6-second videos that he's just.
He does daily quotes, and some of his daily quotes are absolutely amazing. I really like that guy.
They're kind of profound. Some of those stuff is really profound, which is
some of the stuff I'm just like.
And again, just he's weird. Like when he does the ones on the microphone, where you could tell that he does voiceover work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he does those ones, and it's like, oh yeah, that one was kind of cool, to watch.
So
and
I've questioned this because I can't put the pieces together. Is he that same guy that did that "Say Something I'm Breaking Up With You" song with Christina Aguilera? Because that guy's from Tampa too.
No, he does not sing that song.
Okay.
That guy, he's got too deep of a voice. He's too much of a bass. Because he actually uses that song. He uses that song a lot in his videos. That he's always using that song in his videos. So, because I did a TikTok voiceover with his voice, and that was the song playing in the background.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm like,
I'm breaking up with you.
Same guy, I just can't put two and two together.
Not the same guy. But and then here's one of my favorite girls. We see her every week. She's always got good stuff on here. So let's.
I truly believe that when somebody is not right for you, the universe will continuously make them hurt you until you have the strength to let them go. But it's important to always live in reality and know your boundaries, know your limits. For me, I have total faith that as long as you do that, you're going to have a brighter future.
Oh, let it go.
Yeah, as long as you're not singing it. So,
I know.
But yeah, like I said, she actually did a cheating one too that I did, and I couldn't find it again, and I didn't go crazy trying to look for it. So it's it was there, and I can find it sometime later, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. Two more, one from our buddy Sean. Our buddy Sean is out there. So
I think he might have fallen asleep on a White Claw syndrome because I texted him to talk about this, but
he was drunk.
He's MIA.
Drunk and tired. But this was sent to me from you, and it was kind of a little funny. So
kissing on the first date, if it's a formal date, is fucking weird.
What? No, it's not weird. What is? Taking it out of my. Stop it. No. How else am I supposed to find out if she has actual passion? How else am I supposed to feel all the little tinglies down my... No. What if she sucks? What if the kiss sucks? What if his kiss sucks? You want to waste another night? Just to fucking... No. You fucking kiss me if we go out on a date. If you're not for that, then... give me your friend's number or something. God.
That was about the most profound thing he said. Give me your friend's number.
Give me your friend's number. Give me your friend's number or something. So, I mean, first of all, you have to go back and watch the original video to this because that was a whole nother thing. And secondly, if you're not going to kiss me on the first date, I don't know what to do with that.
So like I said, this goes back. If it's a
good date, you should at least try to kiss me. Even if it's just, it doesn't have to be the kiss, but it could be just a nice, gentle kiss or even a kiss on the cheek, but something. And then my other question, then this comes from the original video, is where on God's green earth is the difference between a date and a formal date?
Well, I can't answer that question. I guess you could say a formal date's like dinner. This goes back to another video that we use, another TikTok, where I jumped all over that one girl because she was saying that, no, we're not going to go for a walk. We're going to do dinner and we're going to do this. And, you're not going to get me drunk and try to take advantage of me because I'm going to, I want this. And I was like, yeah, you wouldn't even know if you'd like me or not, because sometimes, you're just saying that you have to be wined and dined, and I'm not going to wine and dine you if you're going to do whatever. But this also goes back to my Cleveland date. This also goes back to my Cleveland date because I know that was the reason why you sent this to me.
And this is the reason why I sent it to you, is because I just wanted to give you more shit of how you should have kissed her.
As I think back,
but you said it wasn't a date. You said it was only a hangout, and a hangout is different than a date.
Well,
date's a date. There's nothing different between a date and a formal date.
I wonder that if I had kissed her, would we have figured out a way to see each other again much faster? That's the one thing that I can absolutely say for certain, that I am unsure if that was the case, because the fact that I didn't kiss her and we, not that we've lost complete touch, but it's like I text her on occasion and she'll respond. She doesn't really text me out of the blue, you know what I mean? So, and I know that she's working out on the road and stuff like that all the time. She's a traveling bartender, but
if you would have kissed her and it would have been good and passionate, guaranteed you guys would have figured out a way to see each other again.
that's very possible. That is absolutely possible. But you know, again, it didn't happen. And for all you people wondering what I mean by the Cleveland date, go back a few episodes when I got back from the draft, and you'll hear me talk about her. So that was my Cleveland date. I went all around Cleveland. I went to Ralphie's house, the Christmas Story house.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah. So like I said, and it was a fun time. We went all around Cleveland having a blast, and I dropped her off at the airport, and I didn't give her a kiss goodbye. And in retrospect, thinking about it, I probably should have, but I didn't.
I win.
But I also thought it was appropriate to not.
I get that you thought it was appropriate. I understand your process of thinking that it was appropriate. I still say you should have kissed her. Whether you thought it was appropriate or not appropriate, you should have kissed her. You guys had a great day. If you would have kissed her, something else might have happened. But because you didn't kiss her, now you're just in the maybe we'll see each other again at the draft.
Maybe next year.
Maybe.
Hopefully. She'd have to go out to Vegas. And that if that's the case, you better believe
I'm kissing her.
I may kiss her just by seeing her. Be like, hey, I should have did this a long time ago. Actually, I probably would not do that, but here's the last one. I remember that I felt like I needed to use this one, and I don't remember anything about it anymore. So this was the last one that we're going to show tonight. Go.
My husband had an affair with a girl at work for 1.5 years when I had a newborn. And when I found out, we went to marriage counseling, and I was willing to forgive him as long as he was honest. And he couldn't be honest. He just kept blaming me for his affair and lying, trying to cover it up. So I decided my kids deserve a happy mom. And the freedom I feel now is worth all of the bad Tinder dates combined. And I've orgasmed more in the last year single than I did in 10 years with my ex-husband. So, thanks for the advice, Pumpkin.
I think that goes back to the first TikTok in the first place of if you are going to cheat and you get caught and you decide that you are going to be honest, you have to be 100% transparent.
Correct.
100% transparent to however long it makes your then partner feel comfortable again to build that trust back. If you just continue to lie or you continue to blame on the other person, then you're not taking responsibility for it yourself.
Well, and I agree, and you could kind of tell, when I delved into some of the messages on that video, she was getting a lot of hate. And it's so interesting to see how people have this holier than thou take on everybody else's videos. But when you find out about the people who are actually writing those messages, they are nothing but a little piece of shit most of the time. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And I know that certain people get bombarded with it and they just don't know how to respond. I usually do it by saying, calling somebody a dummy or an idiot or a smacked ass, or I do whatever I can not to curse at them because I don't want to come across as, Yeah, first off, if you call somebody a bitch now anywhere in any social media, you get flagged right away.
Right.
They don't like that word. It's
No.
like it doesn't matter. Hey, like I'm bitching about something that they don't care. They're going to flag you every time you say that. So you can't call somebody a son of a bitch or whatever. And so you just can't, so you can't use that language. So you got to get creative about it. You got to get really creative. So like I said, I call people dummies. I call people idiots. I call people smacked asses. You know what I mean? And it gets the point across without having the algorithm catch me. Because like I says, you cannot even call somebody a dumb itch, because if it's bitch in a string, it's not going to matter. You're going to
It
get
doesn't
flagged.
matter.
Yeah, you just cannot have those 5 letters in a string. So I don't know. Yeah,
I
but
just
that's
don't argue. I just don't get in my comments and argue with those people. I just move on to the next. I just view it as scroll on to the next video.
right. Well, like I said, it's when I try to take up for some of these people, because I know that they can't defend themselves sometimes. And it's like you could see them getting overwhelmed. And once you start to answer some of them, it starts to snowball. It snowballs.
It snowballs.
So you have to really be able
I
to.
think one of the controversial TikToks I did, and I started getting some criticism on it. I finally just said, "Listen, my opinion was my TikTok. That was my opinion. You have every right to have a different opinion than I have, and if that's the case, scroll on. I appreciate your opinion, but I don't agree."
Understood. Well, listen, guys, on that note, I'm going to have to close it up here because my computer is running out of juice here. And
Are you running out of go-go juice?
No, I'm still ready to go here, but everything else around me is closed. And the one guy is waiting for me to finish up here. So
Well, then we need to let you go so he can go home.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate it, in fact, because I'm going to be back here tomorrow drinking. So I want to make sure that they take care of me.
Yeah, you better make them happy then.
Exactly. So thank you everybody for checking in, especially all the guys, all our new followers on YouTube. I appreciate all the comments that you guys come out with. I'm sure that you guys are half the reason why people are sticking around, just watching the comments in the section there.
Y'all are off the chain tonight. Can't even post them up on front.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these things are not even allowed to say anymore.
No.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show or hanging out with us tonight. And we will be back next Tuesday. And I should be back next Tuesday at my old stomping grounds. If they let me back in there, I'm sure that they will.
I don't know. According to all these comments, you might be behind the dumpster. So who knows?
There we go. We love ooh.
We love ooh too.
So
TJ, I hope you're bringing that smoke jacket back to next week.
There you go. He needs the smoke jacket. And hey, listen, we're getting closer and closer to doing our next speed dating event. I have been thinking about it and trying to work out some of the details, and we're going to do a speed dating event. It's going to be an interesting situation. So, hopefully, we'll be able to get it going really soon. Otherwise, everybody, thank you so much for joining us, even after the hiccups and the headaches today about coming on. Carrie Underwood, of course,
Carrie Underwood's so hot though. I mean,
yeah. And I tell you, we had a great group we had like 28 people following us, and all of a sudden it went to 0. I'm like, damn it. I guess that means so.
She's too spicy for us.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyways, guys, thanks again, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night, guys.